Well, hi, welcome back to the shop. It's been a long time since I've made a video to put out, and we have a bunch of stuff going on this weekend. Right off the bat, we got a new router base plate and bushing set from Milescraft or Milescraft or however you say that. I say it Milescraft. And going to need to put it on my router because I had to disassemble my regular router to put a new base on my plunge router for something we'll talk about in maybe the next video. So let's take this apart and get it installed. So this is my Craftsman router. It's a 25,000 RPM, 8 amp, model 315175040, made in the USA. It is a Craftsman router, but it's not anything too fancy. This is the existing base plate for my router, and I have managed to lose the insert that goes in here, which makes it hard to use for several of the things that I want to use it for. So, taking out 3 screws and just taking that right off. Then we get a bunch of bushings. This is the centering piece to make sure your base plate goes on right. Tighten that down a little bit. Find the right bushing for that, and it's that one. Here's the base plate. This twists out. Put it in the new, put it in this one. The 5/8, and that centers it down. Now this comes with a set of black screws and a set of silver screws, so your screws don't clash with your router, I guess. And they say this mounts to just about anything, and there's about 30 holes and slots in this base, and there are decent instructions depending on your type, and I think it even lists mine, but it basically says you have to use slots instead of the holes. And I actually had to cut these screws down because they were too long to go in to my router base. Take that out. Loosen this up a little bit. Take that back out. And then this is the standard call it. So there it is, new base. It's a bigger base than what I had, which should make it more stable. And just so you don't think that I figured that whole thing out in the time it took me to open that package quite a while ago, I had ordered the same thing, but then it came in a box and already had it installed on this router. But for my quarter cable dovetail jig, I had to have a router with able to take one of those collets, and it had to be a 1/2 inch. And it had to be a 1/2 inch shank for the bits for the dovetail jig. So I had to take the router plate off of that router and put it on my plunge router. And again, it is universal because it fit on that with no problem either. And this is a really, really made in China, cheapo plunge router, so it's certainly not listed in the manual. So there it is, the Milescraft base plate and bushing set. These are the plastic bushings. It's the cheaper set, 19 bucks. They make the same set with metal bushings, and it's more money. I don't know how much more. I bought it on Amazon.com. You can buy it there too.